Hey guys, it's Brendan McClarnon. I'm very excited to be hosting Eric Sineski with Realty Connect today. We're going to be diving into what separates an average agent from a top 10% agent like himself. It's nice to have you today, Eric.
Thanks for having me, Brandon. Much appreciated.
Anytime. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So Eric, let's kick off your journey. How did you first get into real estate? Is it something that always interested you or something that you more stumbled into?
I kind of stumbled into it. I've been in sales my whole life. Since I was 17 years old, I started out actually right around the corner in the flea market business at Roosevelt Raceway. And my dad had his own sales business. And then eventually they opened up a real estate office right around the corner from my house in Manorville. I was like, that sounds like something I'd be interested in trying. I know it's a high commission industry with like you control a big ticket item for a small amount of overhead. That's what attracted me to real estate.
Eric, I know that you spend a lot of time helping families in the Manorville area. Can you tell me a little bit about what you like most about that community or what drawn you to that community?
Well, I moved out there in 1991. There was basically nothing out there. There was like 3 developments, and then I saw it explode. My kids went from kindergarten through 12th grade. They built a new high school, and it's a pretty big geographic area. So, I go wherever my call will take me to sell a house. But I mean, I do like being a hometown realtor in my neighborhood and helping people, and also keep the property values up because I do like it that.
As you know, every real estate market has its own cycles. What do you see happening in your marketplace right now?
Well, I've been through all the different markets back in '08 when people was like, you better take this offer because the next one's going to be less. And then the market exploded recently. I'm seeing a little bit of like price consciousness now in the market where if you price it even a little high, you're not going to get the traction you want. And it ends up selling probably for a little less. So I'm telling people really price it right on the money at this point in time. It's not like it was even a year or two ago. So price is a very important factor right now.
That's great. And what about on the buyer side? What type of advice do you have specifically in your market to advise a client when they're considering making an offer, knowing that things maybe are tightening up a little bit?
Well, I mean, rent is 100% interest. So I'm like, if you can buy a house, even if you're going to squeeze, like when I bought my first house, I was like, yeah, it's expensive, but what are the options? You got, you want to own equity, you want to build it up. I think prices eventually will go back up, higher. And, having your own place is like a no-brainer to me. I mean, I would definitely want my own house.
Well, hard to argue with that. I know you've been in real estate for a while. How long now?
I started in 2000. It's me and my wife and my son, but we're a team. So over 25 years, but we have like over 50 years combined experience with that team.
I started right around the same time, and I have seen all of those same markets as well.
Yeah.
I've seen the ups and downs. Yeah. Your profession has changed a lot over that period of time. Yes. With new technologies, with the ways that homeowners find homes, with the way that listing opportunities find their realtor. Now AI is becoming a major is having a major impact. How do you maintain the human side of the business while still capitalizing on the technology?
I mean, I just try to roll with the punches, like whatever's coming out new. I try to, dip my toes in the water. I try to do a little bit of Instagram, Facebook Lives. I do a lot of like stay on top of people, stay constant, committed to, helping people, let them know I'm out there like every day, grinding it out. And hopefully the hard work and hustle, people say, hey, this guy's a hard worker. He posts videos, he does Instagrams, he sends me newsletters, I sell a house, I say open house, whatever it takes to help people, that's what we try to do.
And I've watched you shoot videos in person, one shot, one take, that's it. And they're very informative and helpful. As we know, putting a successful real estate transaction together is not a solo sport. How do you best lean on your referral partners and your teammates and other professionals to make sure that everyone's working in concert to ensure that it's a successful transaction for a buyer or a seller?
I mean, just me and my wife together. I mean, 2 heads are better than 1. And if you have a third person or a fourth person, whoever, can chip in a little expertise to make the client more comfortable to get to the closing table. The goal is to go from point A to point B. So whatever you got to do, It's kind of like a boat on the ocean. Like you need teammates. Like I take out, my buddy takes me out sailing on his boat. I didn't know much about sailing, but he told me like wrap that sail, watch the trim, do whatever you got to do to, help us, stay the course. So yeah, that's kind of, I try to maximize my team effort to get the best possible outcome for my clients.
The sailing is a great analogy because I've tried that once myself, and I definitely needed a lot of help.
Yeah. I mean, when he had this guy has a big sailboat, when he has that thing tipped over, like he's really into getting all the sails up, you got to be on your toes. So yeah,
Quite intimidating.
you got to be on top of your game because you can flip right over the boat. You don't want your deal to go like overboard. So yeah, the more people on board, the better. The more deckhands you can have, even if they don't know that much about certain things, just to bounce ideas off of them can definitely help out in the transaction.
Do you mind expanding upon how you utilize some people that don't necessarily work for you or are not realtor partners, but other professionals?
I mean, I had a deal with you where we had an offer on a house. They kind of fell through. This guy got way outbid. We couldn't believe how high it got bid up. So then they didn't give up. You called them up like, let's keep going. And then we found them another house. They got their offer accepted. And you called the listing agent to, push the ball over at the goal line. We went all the way down the field. We're at the 1 yard line. Sometimes that one phone call to you, to the listing agent, pushes us into the end zone and boom, touchdown.
And that's a shameless plug because I did not ask you to say that.
That's what happened. And I don't forget that.
I appreciate that. So let's talk about a time that you can remember recently where you were able to make something out of nothing, or you had a deal that was not going so well, and you were able to pull out a miracle or do something outside of the definition of a real estate agent. It did something outside of what's required of you in order to make sure that you got the deal done for a family.
I mean, no two deals are really alike. So I've had a couple of deals where, had a termite inspection on inspection, and the seller was adamant, I have no termites in my house. This guy just poked a hole in the wall to get extra money out of this. He had to justify his fee. And the homeowner was like, I'm not paying for a termite inspection. I'm like, we got no deal. If you have active termites and you're the owner of the property, we got to start all over and find a whole nother buyer. So I actually got him an exterminating company that I knew that was going to, give him a good price on his termite inspection. And we ended up getting a credit at the closing back to him. So he didn't have to lay out any money.
That's what,
So the guy, I navigated a little difficult action because we were we're right there and, we didn't want it to fall apart. And so, every deal is different. You never know what's going to happen. It sounds, some of them start off really sweet and they're going smooth, and all of a sudden a big bump in the road happens and you got to try to deal with it.
That's great. What piece of advice do you have for the folks listening to us today that are considering buying and selling a home? Is there one piece of advice or a couple pieces of advice that you think would be most helpful in this market?
Well, I'm going to say to sellers that they have to price their home at market value. They can't try to, hey, my neighbor got way more last 2 years ago, whatever. You got to trust. You got to trust me, my experience, all the deals that I've done, to price it at market value, because that's going to get the most exposure. You want 5 people to want your house at the same time versus trying to reach for the stars and having one person maybe want it. And then it actually hurts you in the long run by not pricing it properly from the get-go. So that's something that I'm learning the last 6 months or so, that's an important factor right now in the market, because, buyers are savvy. They there's so much information out there. They know what's out there. They know what the last couple of homes sold for. It only takes one buyer, but, that's a big factor.
In that same breath, could you explain to us what the absorption rate is and why you think or don't think that is very important for a homeowner to be considering before they list now?
Well, if a homeowner wants to sell, it's there's different motivation levels. There's A, B, and C. If a homeowner has to move to California, or a homeowner wants that bigger house, of course they want the most money, but every circumstance is different. I have people now, they have to relocate. So price is king. You have to price it on the money because your time is money. Every month they didn't sell it, then they're going to have on the back end like a few thousand or five. Every month it costs money to keep your house going. So you're going to want to sell it for the most money. It's a kind of a fine line. I don't know if that answers your question, but
I absolutely love it. Eric, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
thanks for having me, Brendan. It was a
You got
pleasure.
it. Same here.